The Galactic Throne had ruled for 12,000 years. From the shining crystal city of Apex Prime, Emperor Vexarath sat on a throne made of living light. The throne pulsed with soft blue colors, showing the Emperor's moods. Right now, it glowed deep purple. That meant calm power. Around the Emperor stood the High Conclave, 20 tall beings in silver robes. Their skin was pale gold. Their eyes were black like deep space. They were the Zoran race, the oldest and strongest in the galaxy. Or so they believed. Every species in the galaxy paid tribute to the throne. Rare metals, strange plants, living art, even young warriors for the Imperial Guard. If a world refused, the throne sent one fleet. One fleet was enough. Cities became glass. Oceans boiled. The message was always clear. Obey or disappear. Humans were different. They came late to the stars. Only 400 years ago, they left their small blue planet. The Zoran found them noisy, short-lived, and weak. Humans built fast ships, but small ones. They argued among themselves. They laughed too much. They died too young. The throne gave humans rules. No ship bigger than a corvette. No weapons stronger than plasma lances. No colonies beyond a thin arm of the galaxy called the Orion Spur. Humans signed the treaty. They had no choice. The Zoran showed them recordings of burning worlds. Humans signed quickly. For 3 centuries, humans stayed quiet. They traded ore for food packs. They sent ambassadors who bowed low. They never complained when Zoran tax ships took half their harvest. The Conclave called them the compliant children. Emperor Vexarath sometimes smiled when he heard the name. But lately, something changed. Reports came in. Human colonies appeared on worlds the treaty said were forbidden. Small mining stations at first, then towns, then cities with green domes. Human flags flew on poles, red, white, and blue cloth snapping in alien wind. The Conclave met in the Great Hall. The hall had no roof. Stars shone above. The floor was black glass. It showed maps of the galaxy in glowing lines. Admiral Clyther stood at the center. He was tall even for a Zoran. His robe had gold threads that moved like snakes. He pointed to a glowing dot on the map. Epsilon Verge, he said. 3 human worlds. They mine iridium there now. They refused to send tribute this cycle. A low hiss went through the Conclave. Refusal was rare. Refusal from humans was impossible. High Speaker Thalera spoke next. Her voice was cold and smooth. They test us. They think 400 years makes them strong. Emperor Vexarath leaned forward. The throne's light turned darker purple. Let them remember fear, he said. Send 40 ships, dreadnoughts and escorts. Burn their stations. Execute their leaders on open broadcast. Make every human world watch. No one spoke against the order. No one needed to. The throne did not ask. It commanded. Admiral Clyther bowed. It will be done, Eternal Light. Preparations began at once. Shipyards on the moon of Apex Prime roared with activity. Massive dreadnoughts slid out of their cradles. Each one was 3 kilometers long. Black hulls, with red glowing lines. Weapons that could crack moons. Crews of 10,000 each. They carried banners of the throne, a silver crown, on black field. The fleet gathered at the jump point. 40 ships, enough to conquer a small empire. The humans had perhaps 20 small patrol ships in the whole sector. Laughable. Admiral Clyther stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Crown of Eternity. The bridge was huge. Walls showed stars in real time. Officers moved quietly. No one spoke above a whisper. He opened a channel to the fleet. Today we teach a lesson, he said. The children have forgotten their place. We will remind them. No mercy, no prisoners, only ash and silence. The fleet jumped. They came out of hyperspace at the edge of Epsilon Verge. The system had 1 yellow sun, 4 planets, 3 of them had human domes. Lights twinkled on the dark sides. Ships moved slowly between stations. Everything looked peaceful. Too peaceful. Clither frowned. Scan for defenses. Sensors swept the system. Results came back strange. Minimal shields on stations, the sensor officer said. Patrol ships are leaving. Civilian transports are departing at high speed. No weapons hot. No fleets incoming. Clither's lip curled. They run already. Pathetic. A small ship approached. A human diplomatic courier. Tiny, white hull, no weapons visible. It sent a hail. Clither opened the channel. A human woman appeared on the screen. Short dark hair, blue eyes, calm face. She wore a simple gray uniform with 3 stars on the shoulder. This is Captain Ilara Voss of the United Terran Concord, she said. You have entered sovereign human space without permission. The Concord requests you withdraw immediately. Clither laughed. The sound echoed on his bridge. Requests, he said. You have no right to request anything, mammal. This is throne territory by ancient decree. Your worlds exist because we allow it. Captain Voss did not blink. Treaty Delta 9, she said, signed by your emperor 3 centuries ago. It recognizes human sovereignty in this arm. You are in violation. Clither leaned closer to the screen. Treaties are paper, he said. Power is real. Watch. He cut the channel, turned to his weapons officer. Target the nearest orbital station. Fire 1 lance. Show them. A bright beam shot from the crown of eternity. It hit the station. Metal glowed white, then vanished. A cloud of sparkling dust spread outward. Clither smiled. Now they understand. But on every human world in the system, people did not scream. They did not run in panic. They watched quietly. Some even smiled. Far beyond the system, hidden in the dark between stars, something waited. It was huge. It made no sound. Its hull drank light. Its name was Erebus Ascendant, and it had waited 300 years for this moment. The throne fleet filled the sky above Epsilon Verge like dark clouds before a storm. 40 huge ships hung in perfect formation. Their red running lights blinked slowly. The crown of eternity led them all. Admiral Clither stood on his bridge with arms crossed. He felt no danger, only boredom. Below them, the 3 human worlds turned slowly. Blue oceans, white clouds, green land patches under clear domes. Small ships moved between stations like insects. No one fired. No alarms screamed across open channels. The humans acted as if the invaders were not even there. Clither turned to his tactical officer. Why are their defenses silent? The officer checked screens again. Shields are down on all platforms. Weapons are cold. Patrol ships have pulled back to high orbit. They are waiting. Clither's black eyes narrowed. Waiting was not normal. Species under threat always fought or begged. Humans should do one or the other. Instead, they did nothing. A soft chime sounded. Incoming hail from the small white courier ship. Captain Ilara Voss appeared on the main screen once more. Her face stayed calm. No fear, no anger. Admiral, she said, this is your final chance. Withdraw your fleet now. The United Terran Concord will consider this an act of war if you do not leave. Clither laughed again, this time louder. His officers joined in. The sound rolled across the bridge. War, he said? With what? Your toy boats? Your paper treaties? You insult us with these words. Voss did not smile. We do not insult. We warn. Clither waved a hand. Enough. Cut the channel. Target the main colony dome on the 2nd planet. Fire at will. Let them see what real power looks like. The weapons officer nodded. Energy coils hummed. A thick beam of white-hot plasma lanced down from the flagship. It struck the orbital ring around the colony. Sparks flew like fireworks. The ring broke into pieces that rained fire across the upper atmosphere. Still no human counterfire. Clither frowned deeper. They do not even raise shields. Are they fools? Perhaps they surrender already, an officer suggested. Clither shook his head. No, something is wrong. He ordered the fleet forward. Dreadnoughts moved in slow arcs. Escorts fanned out. They prepared to land troops, to take governors, to set examples. On the human side, things moved quietly. In underground command centers, people watched screens. They spoke in low voices. Orders went out on tight beam channels that no Zoran sensor could catch. In one bunker beneath the main colony, General Marcus Hale sat with folded hands. He was old. Gray hair, scar on his cheek from an old mining accident. His uniform was plain, no medals. He did not need them. A young officer approached. Sir, the throne has begun kinetic strikes on the ring. Casualties are 0. We evacuated everyone yesterday. Hale nodded. Good. Let them waste ammunition. Another screen lit up. A sensor tech spoke quickly. Sir, the shadow is still holding position. No detection. Power levels stable. Hale allowed himself a small smile. Keep it that way. Far outside the system, beyond the last planet, hidden in the cold dark, the Erebus Ascendant waited. It was not like other ships. Its shape hurt the mind, angles that should not exist, hull blacker than space itself. No lights, no heat signature. Sensors saw only empty void where it sat. The ship used tricks humans spent centuries perfecting. Phase-shifting armor that bent light, drives that whispered instead of roared, power cores that drank dark energy from the vacuum. Inside the Erebus, Captain Thorn Reyes walked the main corridor. He was tall, quiet, eyes like steel. Crew saluted as he passed. No rank flashes. Everyone knew their job. Reyes entered the command deck. It was huge. Walls showed perfect star views. No windows, only screens. Officers sat at stations. Fingers moved fast but calm. Status, Reyes said. Fleet is in attack formation, the tactical officer answered. They hit the ring. No ground strikes yet. Human evacuation is complete. All civilians are clear. Reyes nodded. And our cloak? Holding at 99.8%. They see nothing. Reyes looked at the main holodisplay. 40 red icons for the throne ships. Tiny green dots for human stations. One massive gray shape waited at the edge. That was them. How long until they reach the surface? He asked. 40 minutes if they continue current speed. Reyes thought for a moment. We wait until the first ground strike. Let them commit fully. Then we show ourselves. No one argued. They trusted him. They trusted the plan. 300 years of silence. 300 years of building in secret shipyards, hidden in asteroid belts, in gas giant shadows, in places no Zoran ever looked. One ship at a time. Never rushed, never seen. The Erebus Ascendant was the first of her kind, but not the last. Back on the crown of eternity, Admiral Clither grew impatient. The humans still did nothing. No pleas, no white flags, just silence. He ordered landing craft launched. Thousands of troops in silver armor prepared to drop. They would take the governor's hall, force the human leader to kneel on camera. As the first shuttles left their bays, every sensor on every throne ship screamed at once. Alarms wailed. Red lights flashed. Gravitic anomaly, the sensor chief shouted. Massive distortion at bearing 003. Clither spun. What kind? Unknown. It's huge. Screens filled with static, then cleared. Space itself seemed to ripple like water. Stars bent, light twisted. Something appeared in the center of the fleet. One moment, nothing. The next moment, a mountain in space. The ship was black, longer than any dreadnought, wider than city blocks. Its hull had no seams, no ports at first glance. Then they saw them. Hundreds of weapon slits, opening slowly like eyes waking up. No name painted on the side, no flag, only silence. Then a voice filled every bridge, calm, clear, in perfect Zoran language. This is the United Terran Concord vessel, Erebus Ascendant. You are in violation of Treaty Delta 9 and sovereign human space. Power down all weapons and withdraw immediately, or be destroyed. Cliver stared. His mouth opened, but no sound came. The fleet froze. Shuttles hung in space. Dreadnoughts stopped moving. On the human colony worlds below, people looked up. They saw the black shape against the stars. Some cheered, quietly. Others just nodded. In the command bunker, General Hale spoke one word. Now. Far out, the Erebus Ascendant finished charging. A low hum started. It grew. It shook the void. Admiral Clither finally found his voice. All ships, fire everything. Beams lashed out. Missiles flew. Gravitic weapons tore at space. They hit nothing. The black ship's shields drank the attacks. Not even a ripple. Not even a spark. Then the Erebus answered. One white lance of light snapped out. Short, clean. It touched 3 dreadnoughts. They vanished. No explosion, no debris, just empty space where ships had been. Clither's bridge went silent. The voice spoke again. Space around Epsilon Verge became very quiet after the white lance erased 3 dreadnoughts. No sound travels in vacuum, but the silence felt heavy on every bridge. The remaining throne ships floated still. Their weapons stayed hot, barrels glowing red, but no one fired again, not yet. Admiral Clither gripped the edge of his command chair. His knuckles turned white under pale gold skin. He stared at the black shape that now sat in the middle of his formation. The Erebus Ascendant looked wrong. Too big, too smooth, too calm. It did not move like a warship should. It just waited. Scan it again, Clither ordered. His voice cracked a little. The sensor chief worked fast. Numbers and lines danced across screens. Then he stopped. His black eyes went wide. Sir, the readings make no sense. Mass is greater than our entire fleet combined. Power output is impossible. It's drawing energy from nowhere. Shields are layered in ways we have never seen. And the age, the hull alloys match samples from before the throne existed. Clither turned slowly. Before the throne? The chief nodded. Over 12,000 cycles old, but active, fully powered. A murmur went through the bridge crew. Impossible. The Zoran were the first to reach the stars. They built the oldest shipyards. Nothing older than them should still fly. Clither forced his mind to focus. Target all weapons on that thing. Full barrage, now. Orders flew. The fleet woke up. Beams stabbed out from every dreadnought and escort. Plasma lances, antimatter torpedoes, gravitic crushers, ion disruptors. A storm of death rushed toward the black ship. The Erebus Ascendant did not dodge. It did not raise extra shields. It simply absorbed. Light hit the dark hull and vanished. Missiles exploded against nothing. Gravitic waves bent and snapped back like rubber. The barrage lasted 30 seconds. When it ended, space was clear again. Not one scratch on the black ship. Then it spoke once more. The same calm voice. Perfect Zoran words. You have fired on a vessel of the United Terran Concord. That action ends your right to retreat without terms. Stand down, or face total destruction. Clither slammed his fist on the armrest. Who are you? He shouted across open channels. What are you? The answer came quick. We are humanity. We have always been here. You chose not to see. On the human worlds below, people watched from domes and bunkers. Screens showed the black ship. Children pointed. Adults whispered. Some cried. Not from fear, from pride. In the underground command center, General Marcus Hale leaned back in his chair. A tech handed him a tablet. Live feed from the Erebus. They committed, Hale said. Good. Send the signal. A tight beam pulse shot out past the system edge. It carried one word. Reveal. Far across the galaxy, in dozens of other systems, similar pulses arrived. Hidden relays caught them. Relays that had waited in silence for centuries. One by one, shadows woke up. Near the throne shipyards at Korath Prime, a black shape decloaked above the rings. It dwarfed the construction cradles. Workers froze in their suits. Alarms howled. In the trade hub of Vexara, a silent giant appeared beside the main station. Merchants stared from viewports. Cargo ships scattered like frightened fish. At the military outpost of Thalor Reach, another black ship materialized. It blocked the jump gate. No one could leave. Not hundreds of ships, not thousands, just one per key place. 37 in total. Each one the same size, each one the same design, each one named something different. Nyx Sovereign, Aether Wrath, Oblivion's Edge. But all sisters to the Erebus Ascendant. They did not attack. They waited. Weapons charged, but silent. Shields up, but calm. Panic spread through the galactic throne like fire in dry grass. On Apex Prime, Emperor Vexarath sat on his living throne. The crystal pulsed red now. Fast, angry, afraid. The High Conclave rushed into the chamber. Robes dragged on black glass. Faces pale. High Speaker Thalora spoke first. Reports from 37 sectors. Unknown vessels. Human design. Power beyond measurement. They have not fired. They simply appeared. Admiral Clyther's voice came over emergency link from Epsilon Verge. It shook. My fleet is trapped. Jump drives locked by some field. Half my ships gone in one shot. They demand we stand down. Vexarath's long fingers tightened on the throne arms. The light flickered. How? He asked. How did mammals hide this? Then a junior advisor stepped forward. Young. Nervous. Eternal light. Our spies watched human shipyards for centuries. Small yards. Small ships. We saw nothing big. Nothing like this. Thalira turned to him. Then where did they build them? The advisor swallowed. We think in secret. Deep in nebulae. Inside hollow moons. Behind false asteroid fields. Places we never searched because we thought humans too weak to hide anything big. Vexarath closed his eyes. For the first time in thousands of years, he felt small. 300 years, he whispered. They waited 300 years, building, watching, while we laughed. The throne's light turned almost black. In Epsilon Verge, Admiral Clyther tried one last time. He opened a channel to the Erebus. This is Admiral Clyther of the Galactic Throne. We demand parley. We wish to discuss terms. Captain Thorn Reyes appeared on the screen. Tall, calm, no smile. Terms are simple, Reyes said. Withdraw all forces from human space. Release all seized assets. Cancel all tribute demands. Acknowledge Concord sovereignty. Do this now, and your remaining ships may leave. Refuse, and we finish what we started. Clyther's lip curled. You think you can dictate to the throne? Reyes looked straight at him. We already are. Behind Reyes, on the Erebus command deck, officers watched quietly. One screen showed the galaxy map. 37 gray icons glowed where black ships waited. One red fleet icon at Epsilon Verge shrank as another dreadnought powered down in surrender. Clyther cut the channel. He turned to his crew. Prepare surrender codes, he said. His voice was low, broken. The bridge crew stared. No one moved at first. Then slowly, one by one, they obeyed. On Apex Prime, Emperor Vexarath watched the same feed. His conclave stood silent. He spoke at last. Open a galaxy-wide broadcast. I will speak to them. The crystal throne pulsed once. bright white, then dim. The Emperor rose. For the first time in living memory, the immortal ruler of the galaxy felt fear. Real fear. And regret. Deep, burning regret. Admiral Clither's hands shook as he watched the last glowing pieces of his destroyed ships fade into nothing. The crown of Eternity Bridge lights dimmed for a moment, as if the ship itself felt the shock. 37 dreadnoughts and escorts remained. They floated like broken toys around the black giant called Erebus Ascendant. No one moved. No one dared. Clither opened a channel to his remaining captains. His voice came out hoarse. "All ships, hold fire. Do not provoke it again." Murmurs answered him. Some captains sounded angry. Others sounded scared. One young officer whispered, "We are finished." Clither ignored them. He turned back to the main screen. The face of Captain Thorn Reyes waited there, calm, patient, like a teacher waiting for a slow student to understand. "Terms," Clither said. "You spoke of terms." Reyes nodded once. "Simple terms. Withdraw from all human space. Return every ship, every station, every resource you took. Cancel all tribute forever. Sign new treaties that treat the Concord as equal. Do this in the next hour, and your fleet lives. Refuse, and we erase what is left." Clither laughed once, a short, bitter sound. "You think one ship per system scares us into surrender?" Reyes did not smile. "Not one ship, 37, and more if needed. Look at your long-range scans." Clither hesitated. Then he nodded to his sensor chief. The officer pulled up galaxy maps. Red dots showed throne worlds, shipyards, forts, trade hubs. Now gray icons sat near most of them, silent black shapes, one each. No attacks, no destruction, just presence. The Admiral's face lost color. "How long?" he asked quietly. Reyes answered without pause. "Centuries. We built in silence. We waited in silence. You ruled loud. We prepared quiet." Then he opened them. "I must speak to the Emperor." Reyes inclined his head. "You have 50 minutes left." The channel closed. On Apex Prime, the crystal citadel shook with running feet and urgent voices. Messengers hurried through halls of living light. Guards in silver armor stood stiff, but their eyes darted. The high conclave gathered again in the great chamber under open stars. Emperor Vexarath sat on his throne. The light had turned dull gray, almost dead. He looked older than anyone remembered, not in body, in spirit. High Speaker Thalira stepped forward. "Eternal light, the black ships have not fired anywhere else. They wait, but the message is the same. Withdraw or die." Vexarath's fingers moved slowly over the throne arms. "And our fleets?" "Trapped," an admiral reported. "Jump inhibitors, unknown type. Nothing we have can break them." Another voice added, "Civilian ships still move free. No attacks on cities. No glassing. Only military targets locked." Vexarath looked up at the stars. "They could have killed us all today. They chose not to." Thalira bowed her head. "They show mercy, or control." The Emperor stood, his robe dragged on the black glass floor. "Open the galaxy broadcast. I will speak, now." Technicians worked fast. Cameras turned on. The signal went out to every world, every ship, every screen in known space. For the first time in centuries, the Emperor appeared live. Not a recording, not a hologram, him. His face filled billions of screens. "People of the galaxy," he began. His voice was steady, but thin. "For 12,000 cycles, the galactic throne has kept order. We protected, we guided, we punished when needed." He paused. The throne light flickered behind him. "Today we face truth. The United Terran Concord, humanity, has shown strength we did not see, strength we did not expect. Their ships appeared without warning. Their power is real. Their patience is greater than ours." He swallowed. "I speak now not as ruler over all, but as one who sees. The throne ends its claim on human space. All edicts against humanity are void. All tribute stops. All seized lands return. We acknowledge the sovereignty of the United Terran Concord as equals. The words hung in silence. Vexarath continued. To the black ships, we accept your terms. Our fleets will withdraw. We ask only for safe passage home. He bowed his head, a small bow, the first bow an emperor had made in memory. The broadcast ended. Across the galaxy, cheers rose on human worlds. Quiet at first, then loud. People hugged, flags waved, children ran through streets shouting. In Epsilon Verge, Admiral Clyther received the order, direct from the Emperor. Stand down, prepare to jump home. He looked at his bridge crew. Some cried, some stared blank. He felt empty. Send the surrender codes, he said. The Crown of Eternity powered down weapons. One by one the other ships followed. Shuttles that had launched returned empty. Troops sat silent in their seats. The Erebus Ascendant watched. It did not move closer. It did not fire again. Captain Thorn Rays opened a final channel. Codes received. Safe passage granted. Do not return to human space without invitation. Ever. Clyther nodded once. Understood. The throne fleet turned slowly. Engines glowed soft blue. They formed a tight line. Then they jumped. One flash. Gone. Space became empty again. Only the black ship remained. Not jump. Fade. Cloak returning like a curtain closing. In moments, nothing showed where it had been. On Apex Prime, Emperor Vexarath sat alone in the great chamber. The conclave had left. Guards stood far away. He spoke to the empty air. We were blind. We thought ourselves gods. They let us think it, until we pushed too far. The throne light pulsed once, soft blue again, not strong, not proud, just tired. In the Orion Spur, human ships moved freely for the first time in centuries. No patrols watching, no tax collectors coming. Colonies expanded, new stations rose, laughter filled comm channels. General Marcus Hales stepped out of his bunker into sunlight. He looked up at the sky. No shadows there now. A young soldier approached. Sir, the black ships are gone, all of them. Hales smiled small. Good, they did their job. The soldier hesitated. Will they come back? Hale looked at the stars. If needed, but I think the galaxy learned today. He turned and walked toward the command center doors. Inside, a screen still showed the galaxy map. 37 gray icons blinked once, then vanished. Hidden again. Waiting again. Humanity had not conquered. It had reminded. And the reminder was enough. The throne did not fall, but it bent. It bent low, and it would stay low for a very long time. The galaxy watched in silence after the Emperor's broadcast. Screens across 1,000 worlds stayed frozen on his bowed head. No one spoke for a long minute. Then the whispers started. First on human stations, then on neutral worlds, then even on throne core planets. The words spread like wind through dry leaves. The Emperor bowed. He said equals. Tribute is gone. On the human colony of Epsilon Verge, people stepped out from bunkers into bright daylight. Children ran across green fields under domes. Adults stood in groups, looking up at empty sky. No more red lights of throne ships. No more fear of tax collectors. Just blue sun and open space. Captain Alara Voss stood on the main landing pad. Her small courier ship rested nearby. She watched a crowd gather. They did not cheer loud. They smiled quiet. Some wiped tears. A young miner walked up to her. Is it really over? He asked. Voss nodded. They signed the new terms an hour ago. Our ships are pulling back too. The miner looked at the stars. We waited so long. We did, Voss said, and it worked. Far away on Apex Prime, the Crystal Citadel felt different. Halls that once rang with commands now echoed with soft steps. Guards kept their posts, but their silver armor seemed less bright. The living throne in the great chamber pulsed slow gray light. Emperor Vexarath sat alone. He had not moved since the broadcast. High Speaker Thalera entered quietly. She stopped a few steps away. "Eternal light," she said. Her voice was careful. "The fleet's report safe return to home docks. No further incidents. The black ships vanished. All of them." Vexarath did not look up at first. Then he spoke. "They let us go. They could have ended us. Every shipyard, every world, every throne. They chose mercy." Thalera bowed her head. "Or strategy. Warning for tomorrow." The Emperor's fingers traced the throne edge. "We were wrong. We saw children. They were wolves in plain clothes. Patient wolves." He stood slowly. His robe hung heavy. "Call the conclave. We rewrite the old laws. No more edicts on humanity. No more surveillance. Trade as equals. Borders respected." Thalera hesitated. "Some will resist. Old admirals, old nobles. They will call it weakness." Vexarath's eyes met hers, sharp, tired. "Let them. If they want war with those black ships again, they can lead the next fleet. I will not." She bowed deeper and left. Days passed, weeks. New treaties arrived by courier. Plain data pads. No gold seals. No grand ceremonies. Just words on screen. The United Terran Concord would control its own arm of the galaxy. No size limits on ships. No tribute. Free travel. Free trade. The throne promised to stay out unless invited. Human ambassadors walked the crystal halls of Apex Prime for the first time without bowing low. They shook hands. They spoke firm but polite. Zoran officials listened. No one laughed at them anymore. On a small neutral station near the border, two old friends met. One human, one Zoran. They had traded goods for years. The Zoran always took more. The human always gave without fight. Today, the Zoran sat across the table. He looked smaller. "I thought your people were weak," he said. The human smiled small. "We let you think that." "Why?" "So when the day came, you would remember it forever." The Zoran nodded slowly. "We will." In the deep black between systems, the Erebus Ascendant drifted, cloaked again, silent. Captain Thorn Reyes walked the command deck. Lights were low. Crew moved quiet. A young officer approached. "Sir, all sisters report cloak stable. No pursuit. No scans." Reyes nodded. "Good. Set course for home yard. Slow and quiet." The officer paused. "Will we ever show ourselves again?" Reyes looked at the star field on the main screen. "Only if someone forgets." The ship turned. Engines whispered. It faded into nothing once more. Years later, stories spread. Not loud stories, quiet ones, told in bars on rimworlds, told to children at bedtime. They spoke of the day the throne trembled, of black ships bigger than moons, of an emperor who bowed on live feed, of humans who waited 300 years without a word. Some called it the Great Reminder, others called it the Silent Victory. No one called it war, because no war happened. Not really. The throne still ruled its core worlds. It kept its crystal cities, its old fleets, its long history. But it never looked at the Orion Spur the same way again. Every admiral checked sensors twice. Every scout ship stayed far from human borders. Every tribute collector found new jobs. Emperor Vexarath grew older. Not in body, he was immortal, but in eyes. He watched from his throne as new generations rose. Zoran children learned different lessons now. "Do not push the quiet ones," teachers said. "They may wait longer than you live." On Earth, the old blue planet, people walked under open sky again. No domes needed. Ships came and went free. New yards built big vessels, not hidden anymore, proud and open. Captain Ilara Voss retired to a small house by the sea. She planted flowers, watched waves. Sometimes she looked at the night sky. A grandchild asked her once, "Nana, were you scared that day?" She smiled. "No, we were ready." The child nodded. "And the big black ship?" Voss touched the child's hair. "It's still out there, watching, waiting, just in case." Good. Across the galaxy, the balance changed. Not with fire, not with screams, with silence, with patience, with one moment when everything flipped. Humanity did not take the throne. It made the throne remember its place. And the throne never forgot again. The end came not with explosion. It came with a bow. A quiet bow. And a long, long look over the shoulder.